YouTube world, it is Liam, the Death to Metalhead on Bandcamp Friday, and I'm bringing a death metal cassette update. So I've got quite a fair bit to show, but I've kind of halved that because I could show you so much more, because I've brought so many death metal tapes lately from all different styles of, you know, the genre, and all around the world, but I don't want to show too much in one video, so I kind of broke it down, and then I'll do another one maybe a week or two later. So anyway, welcome. So the first band is a Danish death metal band that probably doesn't need much introduction. They put out a really good full length last year through Misako and Ojo and Extremely Rotten Productions, and that is the band Undergang, fronted by David Mikkelsen, who runs Extremely Rotten Productions over in Denmark. And I liked the band so much, I kind of went crazy and bought their whole full length back catalogue essentially. So I've got a big pile of tapes there. And I kind of went, without really thinking about it or even trying, I found them all without any hassle whatsoever. So there's the first one. Can't pronounce it, but it'll come down bottom of the screen. Second one. Get this in the right order. Third one. And then the fourth one. So Undergang was a weird thing because I didn't think I'd really like them, and when I first checked them out last year when they released their video of them just kind of playing, it's all gory, all that kind of thing, I kind of liked it but didn't like it, and it didn't really gel with me at first. But the more I checked it out, the more I really got into it. But then I listened to the older stuff, and I just bought these on a whim just based off reputation, and I really liked them. I mean, my personal favourite out of the whole Undergang back catalogue I found is this one called Doden Lager El Sar, whatever that means. And this is really hooky, really riffy, really easy to get into, really good album. Production's a bit more crisper and not so muffled as the other ones are. I mean, they have to be kind of fit the style of the band. But these albums are really good fun. I mean, the first one's really good. I mean, even the second one's really, I mean, they're all really good, to be fair. I'm talking out my arse. They're all really good. But this one is my favourite. And it's a band I kind of just forced myself to get into without realising it. And I've got, I went full on, and it's just so easy to listen to when I'm working. And if you like simple, brutal death metal, Undergang is so easy to get into. Especially this one. I can't recommend this one enough. This one is my favourite. So yeah, Undergang. I just need to get the live tape, and I think I've got all the full lengths, or all the main releases anyway. I'm not going to get involved in the EPs and splits because I just get silly after that. Next band is a Japanese HM2 driven grindcore band. I showed them in my HM2 video, but I didn't show you the other one I picked up. So this is the 2021 EP that I showed recently. Comes in at a grand whopping 9.5 minutes of music. And if you know grindcore, essentially they sound like early Napalm Death, like Scum, but you mix in the Dismember, Entombed kind of guitar style, and you kind of get Mortify. But I also picked up their first full length. This was a Grindfire Productions release, and I think this is only like 12 minutes long as well. Same sort of thing, very basic, in your face grindcore, like the early 90s style. Like Napalm Death kind of made famous, and early Carcass you could say as well. But really good, because it's got the HM2 sound though. It's just really nasty buzzsaw like guitars, and if you can gather by the artwork there, you got the buzzsaw there with a HM2 driven pedal, HM2 pedal plugged into it. And yeah, fun 3-piece from Japan, just playing really nasty grindcore death metal. So that's Mortify, recommended to me by my buddy Steven, so thank you mate. Next two even, are albums that were recommended to me without him realising it, from Mark over at Mark G Overseas YouTube channel. He showed these two in CD format. I checked them out and I really liked them, so I had to buy them. So the first one is a demo from 2019, and for a demo, this is probably one of the strongest demos I've heard in ages. In regards to, you'd think it's either a full length or a really good EP, but it's just a demo. And that is the band Excarnated Entity with Stillborn in Ash. This is the Extremely Rotten Productions version. I believe Mark had the Memento Mori CD version when he showed it. But this is really good death doom. If you like bands like Spectral Voice, Mortify and that kind of thing, they pretty much sound in that kind of ballpark of death and doom. They are based in Seattle, Washington. I'm using my notes over there again. And yeah, this is solid, absolutely solid. I've spun this absolutely loads. It comes on like a kind of muddy clear black tape, and yeah, for a demo this is really good. So when they do put out a full length, they've got my full attention now, because I'll be honest, I did see them in distros before, but it didn't really grab my attention with the artwork, and I had no idea what they were. I kind of assumed they might be like blackened death metal or something like that, not really good death doom, so I'm really happy to be proven wrong with that one. And the other one Mark recommended was this one. This band are based out in California. This is a 2021 release. This is a full length, and that is Dipygus with Bushmeat. Now, when I first saw this album in distros, the album artwork did nothing for me, but this isn't the album artwork. This is like kind of one of those like slip cases there, it comes off. It's got a back there. That's the actual album artwork that you'll find on the CD and the LP, which I couldn't care anything of, you know, it doesn't draw me in at all. But Mark kind of described it in a really funny way. It sounds like a snuff movie almost, I think he said. He's kind of right in a way, but what I think he meant, I think there's some of the monkey noises he might be referring to. But this essentially on here is all about the weird and wonderful of the world, so like all the macabre kind of wonders of the world. So stuff about shrunken heads and things like that. And it's just, yeah, it goes into a little bit more detail as you listen to it. Like the sound bites is a bit about how to shrink a person's head and an eyewitness account of that happening. And when you Google it, that is exactly how it happens. I won't spoil it for people, so you can go find it out for yourselves. But it comes on a blue tape. And the J card essentially has all those kind of little things that the album's all about, little weird wonders and stuff like that, tribes, shrunken heads and all sorts of weird shit like that. But yeah, the band is solid though, really good old school sounding death metal. They are playing live there, and yeah, really enjoyed this, and I had to pick it up. So I found it, you know, literally nothing in a distro, and I thought I've got to have that, so I picked it up. So thank you, Mark, for those two. I know you didn't technically recommend them to me, but you did. So yeah, Dipygus, Bushmeat, really, really good old school sounding death metal with some weird shit in between. Next two are off eBay. A guy in England was selling his tape collection and he had all sorts going on. I kind of got outbid on a few. There was like one of the old Hellripper tapes on there. He had all sorts of obscure dungeon synth black metal. But these two death metal releases I kind of never heard of before and kind of blindly bought them because I got them for literally nothing. First one is a split between Fetid Zombie and Death Evoker. This is called Monolith of Death. Came out in 2014. And if you don't know who Fetid Zombie are, that is the death metal one-man project from Mark Riddick, the artist. He does drum programming, bass, guitars, vocals a lot. And Death Evoker, on the other side, is a band from Malaysia, who are like a death, grindcore, thrash. They kind of play a little bit of everything. But, you know, really, really solid. It comes on a white tape like that. And as you can probably tell, it's Mark Riddick, so I wanted it because it was like cheap. I like Mark Riddick's artwork a lot. There he is there, holding a cross in a very epic way. And then the other picture of the band from Malaysia just looked really ominous and angry. But yeah, really good death metal. The Fetid Zombie side doesn't sound as good as the Death Evoker side, in my opinion. I think the production kind of lets it down a bit. It sounds a bit like bedroom death metal, as you can probably tell, being a one-man project. I know his newer releases sound really good, and I do believe this year he's putting out a full length through Transcending Obscurity, so I've got my eyes well and truly on that. So yeah, go if you can find this, well worth your time, but I don't know how easy this is to pick up. I kind of found it randomly on eBay. And the other one I blindly bought, so if you remember I did a video about artwork and blind buying albums based off that, do people still do that? And I still do now and again. Normally it's recommendations that kind of make me blindly buy albums, like I did with a few of these. But this one was purely based on the artwork. I took a chance because it cost nothing really. And that is the band Demonic Rage from Chile. And that album cover there kind of suggests to you either it's going to be really nasty black metal or brutal death metal, and it is brutal death metal. But like kind of like in the old school way, like the Chile style of death metal, it essentially was what it is. If you listen to bands like Pulverize, that kind of thing, it's the same sort of style. This is really, really good. Came out in 2013. The album's called Venomous Wine from Putrid Bodies, and it was put out for a now defunct British label that I can't pronounce, but you've already read it down there. And yeah, Really good death metal. Has a few live tracks on here, a few demos as well. Rounds off about 40 odd minutes of music. I've never heard of these guys before, but this is a really good death metal band, just a standard clear tape. And if you can find this, I can't recommend this enough. This is really, really good death metal. This band are superb. Skill wise, is very technical in regards to the time changes, that kind of thing, not as in like wanking, all that kind of thing. It's just really well written death metal, very hooky, very riffy, very groovy, very, very good. So can't recommend that enough. Next one is a band, again I blind bought on Discogs. I was buying one from a seller and I didn't want to spend too much on the postage, so I picked this up for literally nothing that he was selling. I think he was just having another clear out of tapes as well, and that is Dr. Shrinker with Contorted Dioramic Palette. Now this band are an interesting band. They don't exist anymore, I don't believe. This was originally put out in 2015, but this is a 2019 repress for Extremely Rotten Productions. The band formed in 1987, and they were, what I say they are, like a grindcore band, kind of in the vein of early Carcass. But this album, this is their only full length. Considering they formed in 1987, this is their only full length from 2015. They've been in loads of compilations, demos, but this is like death thrash, really good death thrash, but the vocals are very weird. So if you listen to this band, and I'll obviously leave links below, give the vocals a chance, because I kind of was like, nah, I ain't gonna like that. But the more I listened to it, the more I got into it. So the tape is on this kind of clear, murky black shell, and the J card's got some amazing artwork on it. You know, all horror themed, but on a nice thick card, so you can see it all there. I think it's just literally each track has its own artwork, and it kind of gives you a clue of the subject matter of each album, each song even. But yeah, this band don't exist anymore, unfortunately, and they've been around for such a long time before that. It's weird to think that they formed in 1987 and didn't get around to putting out a full album until 2015. It just seems crazy to me. But yeah, really good death thrash in my eyes. A bit of grindcore in there, but more the thrashy kind of thrash beats. And the guitar tones as well. Even though it's death metal, it's very thrash sounding, and you can kind of hear it being an American band, but it's the vocals that will challenge a few people, I think. So give that one a go, and then let me know what you think below. Next two are a German death metal band. This band I absolutely love. They kind of form that old school death metal sound with some doomy elements in, but they use HM2 guitar tones to kind of give it a different flavour, and that is the band Carnal Tomb. I picked up the 2019 album called Abhorrent Veneration through Testimony Records. I meant to get this on LP and I never did, so I found it on tape from the band directly and I bought it. And then this is the 2021 EP directly from the band, 2 tracks called Festering Presence, and that's obviously self-released. So there is another German death metal band called Carnal Tomb, but they kind of disbanded in the mid-90s. So it's not the same band for any Germans out there that might know that. Blue tape for the 2019 album. I love the artwork as well. And yeah, really good old school death metal. There's some slow bits in there that kind of make it really doomy. But because it's got the HM2 kind of guitar tone, it kind of gives it a different flavour and it sounds a little bit different. It's not in the Swedish style at all, purely just for guitar tone only. And then the EP came on this brown tape. 2 new tracks, it sounds really crisp, really clear, and I'm absolutely loving that. That's a really good EP for 2 tracks. So if you've never checked out Carnal Tomb before, strongly recommend it. They still do have tapes on their Bandcamp, and they sent me loads of stickers as well when I brought these, so that's really cool. So yeah, Carnal Tomb. Now the last 2 are blind buys essentially, again, all hyped to me by other YouTubers and Instagram followers, or I don't know what you call them, but this one especially I blame Melanie for buying this over at Melanie Loves Death Metal. She pimped this band out loads and I thought, oh, it can't be that good, judging by the cover, and I was proven dead wrong and I ended up picking it up. It took a month to get here, but I finally have a copy of it, and that is Perilaxe Occlusion, can't pronounce it, with the EP titled Exponential Decay. Now these guys are from Canada, and that cover does nothing for me. I mean, I don't even know what it is, but the band logo as well I can't read. I don't even know what it means anyway when you do read it, but what I can tell you is this is really, really, really good death metal. Like, really good death metal. For an EP demo, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's only 3 tracks, but I've flipped this tape absolutely loads. Love it to bits. This is edition 87 out of 150 through Epidemia Records over in France. I stupidly missed buying the new one that's been put out today. I looked at it, I could see it, I just didn't want to pay the postage from Canada. It wasn't even that much, but now I kind of regret it. I did buy some more tapes instead from other bands, but I do know they will repress the new EP when it comes out, and I will pick it up. But if you've never checked this band out before, I'll obviously leave links below and you can go check it out, because this is brilliant death metal. I can't highly recommend this enough. There'll be a CD version, there's all sorts going on now. Comes on a black tape like that, but it's brilliant. I mean, I waited a month to get it, to listen to it, because I haven't even streamed it. Just blind bought it purely based off people's recommendations. But I'm well happy I did, because that is so good. So good. And the last one is another one that was pimped out by a few people. Melanie probably again, but more so people on Instagram. When I saw the tape, it just looked really cool. And I saw the tag Death Doom, I thought, oh, I'm probably going to like that. And I kind of just bought it there and then. I didn't listen to it or anything. I know Ken from Ken's Death Metal Crypt, you know, talked about it, and if he pretty much puts his seal of approval on it, you know, I'm going to check it out or even buy it if I find it. And that is the band Seep with the EP from last year called Souvenirs of a Necrosadist. Now this is a one-man project put out from Big Daddy Gore, the chap who runs Gurgling Gore Records over in the States. Like I say, this came out last year, but this is a 2021 repress through Dawnbreed Records over in Holland. I think they're Holland. And there's only 100 of these, but the 2020 release was like red and black. This is just pure green, and I think it's 3 tracks again. Just solid old school death metal in the Death Doom kind of vein. My kind of music all over. And this really reminds me of really early Broken Hope. You know, it's got such good comparisons to it. Like what was really good about Broken Hope in the early 90s, these guys, or what this band is doing, is essentially that to me in my ears. It's just the artwork, everything about it screams early Broken Hope, and that really early 90s death metal style that was just brutal, morbid, but really hooky and really groovy. And you know, this is solid, absolutely solid. I mean, the track Bored in Piss is really catchy, but all the 3 tracks are absolutely solid, and I wish there was more going on, because I believe there's going to be a full length from these guys, which I will be picking up. No matter what the postage is, I will pick this up, because this is so good. My kind of music, straight out. You know, I wish I got the merch as well, because they did a really good long sleeve that I saw, but again, didn't pay the postage and regret it now. But there you go, live and learn. Seep, Souvenirs of a Necrosadist. Go check it out. I know there's still tapes on Dawnbreed Records, so pick this up if you can. You won't be disappointed. So that is my tape collection for now. There is a fair bit more I can show, but I kind of wanted to keep this video under 20 minutes long, and I've successfully done that again, so I'm happy about that. Thanks to everyone who's watched my videos recently and subscribed to the channel. If you are new, please consider subscribing and liking this video as well, and also commenting below, because I'd love to hear people's opinions on these and anything else you want to recommend me, because I've got some killer recommendations lately from people from my last video especially. I mean, my want list has gone up by at least 10 albums since that video, which is brilliant for me, but not for my wallet. So until then, take care guys, I'll speak to you all in the comments below. Cheers!